everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me for my very first video. I am so excited because I know we're going to grow together and this is going to be awesome, and I just thank you for joining me on this journey in my very first video. I hope you guys like it, and I just hope to grow on YouTube. That's my goal. So for my very first video, I wanted to tackle a topic or talk about a topic that is very near and dear to me because I've been through it. Not only have I been through it, I know people that are going through it now, people that, will be. And the topic for today is wedding debt and how much wedding debt people are willing to get into for one day, for a couple hours, not even one full day, but a couple hours of celebration. And I know firsthand when you get engaged, you're so excited, you want to celebrate, and you have this vision in your head of what you want that day to look like. And a lot of times the vision that you have in your head does not match your bank account or your finances. And so what a lot of people will do is they'll just forego their budget and say, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway because it's my wedding day, right? It's the one day in my life that I'm supposed to really celebrate. So why not just go all out? Well, what happens with that mentality is you go all out, and then the following month after your wedding, reality sits in and you have all of this debt now that you have to come up with the money to pay for it. Or now you're stressing with your spouse to try to figure out how to get this debt paid for. And sometimes that debt can go on for years. I mean, I've seen people 15 years after their wedding still paying for their wedding debt. And we don't want to be in that position. No one should want to be in that position. So I just kind of wanted to look at a few videos of people talking about their wedding debt or their family members' wedding debt and just kind of address it and give my opinion on it because, again, I did go through this process and there was a lot that I really thought I would want for my wedding, but in the end, I just wanted to make sure me and my husband started our life off on a good note and not in a lot of debt. So I was willing to cut costs and do whatever I needed to do to still celebrate our love and celebrate us with our family, but also do it in a way where we didn't just have lingering debt for years to come. So let's take a look at this first video together, and then I will give you my thoughts on it.
A little context if you care to listen. I find myself in a shit position. The man that I love sat me down last night.
Okay, that is insane. Her cousin took out $100,000 loan, divorced in 2 years, and now owes $150,000 because of all the interest that comes along with that debt. And can you imagine, you're no longer with this person. You might not even like the person. You never speak to the person, but they remain a constant part of your life because you have this lingering debt now that you have to pay for years to come. And by the time you finish paying it, the person that you were married to, that you took the loan out for, is probably remarried to somebody else. And they're not going to help you. They're not going to foot the bill because, hey, you took the loan out. So in that case, that was definitely not a smart decision. It was definitely something that did not need to be. And you got to look at when you're taking this debt out to be married to someone, who are you actually marrying? What are their financial goals and ideas? Like, do they even care about the finances? Are they thinking long term? Do they realize this money comes with interest? All of that goes into play when you think about paying for a wedding on credit, because in the end, you could be left like this person holding the bag. So let's take a look at another video.
You know, if it's one thing that I never understood, that I still don't understand to this day, is I would watch two people get together and want to get married, and they work hard as hell, harder than they ever worked than they did in their entire life, to try to get married, to build the funds up for the marriage, and be drastically in debt after the marriage over, on top of the debt that they had before they even got married. I've always wondered and questioned, like, if you put that much effort and energy into getting married, why can't y'all both together put that same effort together to pay each other's debt off? Maybe just me. Wouldn't you be in a better mindset knowing that you're married and you don't have any debt versus already adding on top of the debt that you already have that's already killing you, that's make you have to work paycheck to paycheck in the first place. I sit back in amazement when I listen to people and they sit up here and yell at me and tell me that they're not finna work a second job or pick up an extra shift just so they can clear debt. But as soon as they decide to get married, they want to pick up an extra job or work some extra shifts just so they can go get married. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I don't see it the way that they see it, and I don't want to see it the way that they see it, because it's fucking crazy. Because after they get married, I always hear the same thing. Oh, we wasted all this money. These amount of people didn't show up. We shouldn't have spent all this money in the fucking marriage in the first fucking place. All I'm saying is the same oomph that you had when y'all was trying to get that money together to get married, after y'all get married or before y'all get married, that's the same oomph that y'all should have to try to help each other get out of debt. Because y'all do know the number one reason why people get divorced is financial situations. You know, if it's one thing.
Yes, I totally agree with him, because to me, in this situation, the most logical thing would be to pay off each other's debt so you can go into your marriage debt-free, clear of all that stress, that extra stress on your back. And like he said, to throw $40,000 into a wedding but still take all the debt plus some into your marriage, it doesn't really start you out on a good foot. And he is absolutely correct too. Financial problems is the number one cause of divorce. And a lot of times it's because people don't talk about it before they get married. That's not a conversation that's a fun conversation. It's not a feel-good conversation. So it's a conversation a lot of people avoid, but it's really the most important conversation you should have. I think the second you get engaged, the next step would be to sit down and write a realistic plan that you both can afford in a way that does not cause long-term debt. I could see putting $1,000, $1,200 on a card, for little things here and there that you can't get, but to have upwards of $40,000, yeah, I think that is pretty extreme. And then, like he said, you didn't even pay off the debt you had before, so that makes it even worse. I 100% agree with this video. So let's take a look at another video.
And one of the major things that people go into debt about is the wedding. How do you know how much to budget for your wedding?
Yes, do not go into debt over your wedding. Point blank. Don't do it. Look, I've been married 15 years coming up. I have not thought about my wedding one time this week. I don't think I thought about it last week either.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm going with this?
I know exactly.
The wedding is a great day. It's a great party, but it fades into the background of your life. You don't wake up every morning going, oh, my wedding was the best day of my life, and I'm so glad that I spent $80,000. You don't do that. Right. It goes away and you live your life. So I think in the moment when you're excited, because you should be, and you're getting married and all that's going on, you can really get caught up. Don't get caught up, because what's more important is starting out your relationship with no debt.
Yes, I agree with this one as well. I only think about my wedding day on our anniversary, honestly. That's really the only time I think about our wedding day. And that's the day I go back and I look at the pictures and I get that emotional woo-woo feel that you got, when you planned the wedding, is on our anniversary date. But other than that, I don't wake up thinking about my wedding either. I don't go to sleep thinking about it. And when I do think about it, I have great memories and it's exciting and it's, fun to look back on. But if I did have the wedding I had with the debt some of these people have, like $100,000, I think when I look back on my wedding, it wouldn't be a positive idea. It wouldn't be a positive memory, because I'm still dealing with the debt today. So I do agree. Your wedding is a fun time. It's a great way to celebrate, but it's not something that you're going to wake up every day and just be so excited that you did it. You might look back on it on your anniversary. Some people don't look back for years, but yeah, this was a really good video. I really like how she broke it down, and she broke it down in a way that makes the most common sense to me. It's like, don't do it. And I agree. And we're going to take a look at 2 more videos I have in mind. So let's take a look at those.
How much was the wedding?
At least $11,000 spent on the wedding.
We are 6 figures in debt. It's all bad debt.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 bad debts? Not a single fucking mortgage over 6 figures? What the fuck are we doing? How long does this take? make the payoff? Can someone tell me?
No clue.
Well, I'll tell you, your kid will be in college.
So what? Like
Yeah,
20 years?
20 fucking years. Your kid will be in college until you paid off a card for the wedding. Come on!
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. 20 bad debts and the wedding on top of that. And I'm sure all 20 debts are not just the wedding, but this goes back to the earlier video where the guy said, pay off your debts before getting married. So this kind of is that example in real life of people who already had debt and then compiled that with wedding debt. And now the debt is just insane. I mean, can you imagine 20 years later paying for your wedding still? Like that, that is insane to me. That would just send me over the edge. And I mean, 20 years is a long time to still be paying for not even a day, you guys. You got to think about it. It's hours. You're paying for hours for 20 years. And I know this couple is extravagant or as exciting as their wedding was for them. I promise you, looking at their faces in this video, they wish they would have never did that. And so this right here is the prime example of what I'm talking about. We got to think logically. We got to think realistically and not emotionally when we're planning our weddings, because it's very easy for our emotions to take over in that time. And I want to watch one last video with you guys.
I spent about $200,000 on a wedding and I ended up in divorce. Let me tell you what I've learned. At the time, I really believed that a fancier wedding was a testament to our love. I obsessed over the perfect dress, the venue, the flowers, the dinner, thinking that if everything looked magical, the marriage would be magical. But when the party was over, real life set in. All the fancy details couldn't hold us together. I was so worried about impressing everybody else that I didn't ask myself, am I actually building something that's long-lasting and real? Islam has been telling us this forever, that simplicity brings blessings. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that the best weddings are the ones that are easiest in expense. But I had to live through the pain to truly understand it. Don't get lost in the show. Focus on what comes after.
Again, perfect example of what I've been talking about this whole video, and she hit it right on the head. We're so focused on the details and the pretty little things and impressing our family and celebrating with our family that we don't think about the back end of it and how it really affects the marriage. And like I say, a lot of times it feels like people nowadays, they want the marriage, but they want the wedding, but they don't want the marriage. So they put all their effort, energy, money, time into the wedding, but then they forget there's an actual marriage on the back end of that. And a lot of times, if you don't get that situated out, if you don't figure out, you know, is this person really for me? Or if I'm just really here for a celebration, it ends pretty quickly. And that's a pretty, that seems like to me a pretty bad space to be in, because you wake up and you're off the high of the wedding is over, all the planning is over, the family, friends are gone, everybody's gone, and it's just you and your spouse, and you're looking like, what have I done? Like, was this really the person for me? Should I be here? Did we make the right decision? That is the worst feeling to have right after a wedding, and I'm so glad I didn't experience that, but I can only imagine how horrible and hard that would be. So yeah, this was a really good video. This one hit a lot of points that I've been trying to make. Sorry, my phone. Came across this video last minute and I figured I'd just throw a bonus video in there, save the best for last. I thought this video was really cool, something very different and something that I think you guys should see, because maybe she might be starting a new trend. I don't know. I mean, I would jump on it if I could, you know, at the time I would jump on this, but let's take a look at this very last video. I think it's something we all should watch.
I will pay each of my daughters $35,000 not to have a wedding. Now, before you come at me, they each know that if they decide to have a wedding, that's totally okay. I will support it. I will pay for the wedding. They won't get a check, but I will pay for the wedding. I will be there and I will participate fully. They'll have a smaller budget and we'll make it nice. But if they choose not to have a wedding, they will get a check. And the reason I'm going to do that is because most married couples start off their marriage in debt. And the average cost of a wedding is about $35,000 right now. And to me, that is a huge waste of money.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop her right there because already she's gems, just genius. And if I had this opportunity, I would 100% take it if I was her daughters. Because $35,000, do you know what you can do with $35,000 to start your life with someone? I mean, that's enough to pay off debt. If you have school loans, that's enough to put a dent in a school loan, if not pay it off. That's enough to buy a house. That's enough to have a savings account. It's so many things that you could do. And she's not saying don't get married. She's just saying don't have a wedding. You could do something small, a backyard wedding, a courthouse wedding. She's just saying there's no need to put $35,000 in a couple hours of celebration when there's so many different ways you can utilize that money. And I agree. Okay, let's finish watching the video. But I just thought already, I would take this if I was her daughters.
Have the big fancy poofy wedding. My husband and I spent the first 5 years of our marriage paying off that wedding debt. And if I could go back and invest that money in a home or the stock market or literally anything else and just have gone to the justice of the peace or had a small backyard family wedding and then gone on a nice honeymoon and put the rest down on a house, that would have.
Okay, I'm not going to keep stopping it, but again, she hit on exactly what I was talking about when she said that they took 5 years to pay their wedding off. 5 years is a short amount of time. The videos I was watching, people were taking 10, 20 years to pay this off. So 5 years, they must have really worked hard at getting it taken care of. But can you imagine 5 years of paying on a debt that only was a couple hours, like your wedding? And I know everybody's like, it's a special day. It's, it's memories. It's time with family and friends. I'm going to tell you something. Half of those people that you invite to your wedding, you probably won't see again. Family, friends, whoever. You probably won't see them again, or you'll see them once a year, once every couple of years. These aren't people that are in your day-to-day life. These aren't people that are going to help you pay this off. These aren't people that are even going to help you babysit when you have kids. So just put that into perspective when you think about planning a wedding and the long-term ramifications of it. Like she said, it took her 5 years, but we've seen the videos earlier where there's some people 20 years. They're going to be 20 years paying off the wedding. So, okay, I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to let her finish this time. But yeah, she's giving some great advice.
That would have taken a lot of the pressure off the first few years of our marriage. So I've told my girls our story. I've shared with them the photos of the wedding, what it cost. It was a beautiful day. We had a great wedding, but the cost of it was exorbitant. And so my 4 daughters know my heart on the matter. They know that it's up to them to decide whatever they want to do, that I fully support it. But as their mom, I speak in to their lives. It's me paying for it, so I feel like I do have a voice in it. And yeah, so I don't know. I think we should normalize not having weddings. I think they are a huge waste of money, and it sets new couples up for failure. And yeah.
Okay, so I know she said normalize not having weddings, and I can say that as well, but I'm not going to say just take weddings completely out, because in the end, you do want to celebrate your love. So I'm not going to say take weddings completely out, but I'm saying let's normalize having weddings that we can budget for in our finances, debt-free, no 5-10 year loans, 20-year loans. Let's normalize having realistic weddings. Let's normalize having backyard weddings. Let's normalize whatever wedding you envision, whatever wedding you can afford, whether it's courthouse or not. Let's normalize that. Let's stop normalizing putting on a show for people that we probably won't see again, or putting on a show that so that we can have pictures for social media, and then a week later no one's ever going to care again because it's on to the next wedding, on to the next big event. Like, it's such a short amount of time in social media time. So let's normalize just doing what we can actually afford and not going into debt. I agree with that. And again, I did have a wedding. I had the wedding of my dreams in the budget that we could afford, and it was amazing. I'm not going to say don't have a wedding, because I had one, but I'm just going to say do it where you can finance it yourself without getting into a lot of debt. Was my take on the matter when it comes to wedding debt, and I would like to hear yours now. Did you go through it? Did you have wedding debt? Did you have a courthouse wedding? What was your situation? Also, even if you're not married, if you have an opinion, please drop it below. I would love to hear from you. And if this video was valuable to you and you enjoyed the information in it, I would like for you to go ahead and shoot over, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you're notified the next time I post a video. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Everyone have a great day. Bye.